Good morning. Good morning. I need to put my eyeballs in. I need to wake up. Well, yeah, one moment. Good morning. Do you ever look at yourself from an angle? The sun. Did you just see that? Good morning to you too, fellow traveler. I can't believe the sun just did that to me. Oh my god. My roosters are going this morning. Here's the thing. We're probably not going to keep the roosters because they keep fighting each other and the girls keep picking on them as well. And so what I will be using them for is a bartering tool. So let's say just for bartering. What I'm looking for, I want a pig. I want a baby pig. I want a little piglet. I want to raise it. I don't think I want it to eat it. I don't think I want to eat it. I think I want to raise a pig. I've always wanted to raise pigs. I used to live on a farm when I was little in this like quarry area, and we were living momentarily with another person. It was like kind of like a little halfway home or whatever because we were escaping some kind of DV situation. Good morning. Good morning. Let's talk real. We talk real things on this channel. My cat's outside scratching at my door, much like Kathy. He's saying, "Let me in." So I was escaping this DV situation as a child, and we went to go live on a farm with a sweet woman my mother met at the bar, and her name was Miss Betty. And Miss Betty had pigs on her little farm, and our pigs were so cool, and they were so big, and they were so silly. And I used to go talk to them every day. And yeah, I used to talk to the pigs at Miss Betty's farm. She was very sweet, but also very southern. And we did not live there more than a couple of months because my mother always went from house to house to house. Very strange woman. So we went from the farm to some other man's abode whenever she found a boyfriend. It was like the luck of the draw whenever she was breaking up with the boyfriend, and then whenever she had a boyfriend, it was living at the boyfriend's house. We never had our own place as a child. We never really did. And we relied on the generosity of others. And so there have been times I've been homeless. There have been, especially as a child. And I think that really does something to your pathology, to the way your brain works, because you learn very quickly the intricate workings of the American systems and how fucking failed they are. Oh, I cut myself while I was whittling wood, and then I got a blister, and I'm getting man hands, babe. I'm getting man hands. Becoming manly. But yeah, I don't like Venus and Capricorn. If you have it natally, that's fine. That's beautiful. It's amazing. Use it. I have Venus in Libra, and I do not like when Venus is in Capricorn. I just don't feel right. I just don't feel right. And I've been productive. Yes, I've been productive. I've been whittling and learning new trades and skills. But I don't like this. And 2 years ago, I did a video with my friend speaking upon Venus and Capricorn. And even then, I said to myself, I do not like it. I just don't. It's not one of the most favorable positions for her. And yeah, I just don't like it. She feels strange. It's a funny feeling. So, anyways, I've been being productive, yes, but I don't feel it's a different flavor of artistic creation, and it takes time. what I'm finding, my own findings. It takes time and it takes tenacity and a vision. And that's something I'm learning to do, to have vision, to go. But it is extraordinarily difficult because I also have horrific ADHD. Horrific. Time stopping, timeline altering ADHD. And I would forget to breathe if my body didn't do it for me. I'd forget where my lungs were. I, so yeah. So, anyways, the energy, I'm excited for her to go into Aquarius, but what I'm learning with this is my husband bought me an axe, and so I've been hacking at wood, whittling, I've been making spoons and things of that nature, and learning about wood. I've been learning about how it moves and shapes, and I also have to learn about knives and the grind and sharpening hooked knives and how that works and this and that and the other. And there's things I'm learning. I'm growing and I'm moving in ways, but it's uncomfortable. And I think that's what I'm trying to accomplish, saying with my mouth, is that it is uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable feeling, for me personally, at least. I like I said, I have natally, my Venus is in Libra. And so I like fine wines and nice cheeses and beautiful art and speaking to people about what they think and not debating as much as understanding. And I love love, and I love witnessing love, and I love, there's a difference, and then I also appreciate Venus in her other flavors and her other dances across the universe. But there's certain signs whenever she's in, and everything is retrograde right now. It's Jupiter, there's many things. It's just very, So Venus just got out of Capricorn, and I didn't like it. I was like, we did a lot of things, but I did not like it. I did until the TV shifted. Anyways, I did not like it while it was in Capricorn. I'm excited that it's in Aquarius. She. I feel different. I like how I'll hold a cup right here. There's a handle, and I'm just like. Anyways, I didn't look. It was good for learning new trade skills. I'm sorry. Let me chop this up now, because I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. I didn't like when she was in Capricorn. I didn't like it 2 years ago when she was in Capricorn, and I talked about it. I like whenever she's in other signs. Aquarius is fine. I'm feeling okay again. But when she was in Capricorn, I was just like I don't know, there was just this nasty feeling, and it just, you know what I mean? And yes, I got this big old pimple right here. I had it for a couple of days. We're not gonna talk about it. Okay. But yeah. Now that Venus is in Aquarius, I don't I want to take care of my body, and it could be just natally, for me, whatever. Anyways, I'm happy she's in Aquarius. Let's stop talking about it. I'm happy that she's in Aquarius. I feel like I can be could giggle and wiggle a little bit more, because when she was in Capricorn, I felt very dude, just Capricorn has been wrecked since. I love Capricorn. My son has tons of Capricorn, and I have Capricorn, but I also have a Uranus there. Babe, I'm a nutcase. I'm crazy. I'm fucking crazy. And my entire generation is full of bozos. We are all bozos. We're bozos. And it's okay, but my entire generation, we're kind of fucking You know, thank God there is the internet to allow us to have this kind of boson us. Anyways, I want to actually know. This is my channel. I'm going to talk about whatever I want to talk about. And if you understand it, you do. And if not, you could just put me on as background noise, or you can put me on as a something else. If you hear loud noises and music and stuff of that nature in the background, it's my husband at his forge. He is forging things. So I feel kind of lonely. So here's the thing. Venus was in Capricorn, yes. My Saturn is natally, you probably don't understand this, but natally I have Saturn in Aquarius. And it's fine. It's fine. But, so she's going back into like, there's a different story being told. Let's say that. So there's a story with Venus and the Capricorn being told. And there's a story of Venus and Aquarius. And everybody has their own stories within ourselves that are written within the confines and constructs of our existence. And when she, for me personally, goes into Aquarius, she'll do a dance with my Lilith, and she'll do a dance with Saturn. And I do love Saturn. I do. And so I have no qualms or issues with that. I do very much enjoy Saturn. Perhaps too much. But I don't know, I just do. So anyways. Like whatever. But I'm excited for that story. Do you know what I mean? You get to ever read a book, you got to a part of the book and you were like, I just kind of want to skip over these pages. Like there's a part in every book that's just shitty. Every book you've ever read, you've probably felt like you could tell that the author had a couple of rough fucking days. They were just like, I cannot grasp onto the muse of writing because whatever. So they tried. It had a deadline to meet or whatever, because that's how it goes now. It goes into these avenues of corporate entities telling you what to write and when to write. You know, it's no longer like your soul, the universe, and something. There's something in between. You pulling down your soul out of these spaces and places, and then the corporations are like, may I rip into your mouth and steal your tongue and force you to waggle it in a certain way. You know what I mean? And if you don't, maybe you're not paying attention. But yeah, I find it to be, well, exhausting. It's very, very exhausting to sit there and hear authors, especially within the metaphysical community, talk about the structures, the corporate entities that are the publishing houses that will take an independent artist and then be like, I have a contract. And then they pull your soul into the pits of hell and force it within to the confines of a contract. It's very annoying. It's very sad. Is that a DeLorean? Anyways, it's very, very frustrating. Contracts are very frustrating. Legal stuff is very frustrating. I hate it. I hate it so much. Lawyers are scary. They're crazy. Crazy. I hate to be on the wrong side of the law. I love to be on the right side of it. It's delicious to watch them in action. It is horrific to watch them acting upon you. So yeah. I have some roosters I need to barter for a piglet. And I'm going to try to do that. Here's the thing. My husband was like, we're not getting a pig. And I was like, you're right. We are not getting anything. I am getting a pig. So I'm going to get a pig. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'll get a piglet. And then I will put it in the bed and act like it's one of the dogs. And then when he comes up to bed, I'll throw the sheets off and scare the shit out of him with a live pig. Yes? No? Thoughts? My new neighbor is frightened of chickens. Who is frightened of chickens? Like if you're frightened of chickens and you follow me, why? I have questions. Why? I'm not judging you. I'm not shaming you. I'm kink asking why. Why? Why are you frightened of chickens? What is so frightening of them? Is it because they're tiny dinosaurs? Dinosaurs scare me. Dragons don't. Dinosaurs do. What is that, right? Like, let me just psychoanalyze myself. Why are you afraid of dinosaurs and you love dragons? What is wrong with you? Dinosaurs are scary. Fuck that. Dinosaurs are really scary. Prove me wrong. They're big motherfuckers. Have you ever seen a dinosaur skeleton? They're scary. Now, if they were covered in fur, I would be like, oh my god, it's baby. But the fact that they're not, I'm like, god damn, it's a big motherfucker. Have you? Okay, I've seen my chickens capture a crawdad, a crawfish, and rip it apart in the same way on Jurassic Park 2, where they rip that guy apart. And that is one of my nightmares. That's a nightmare scenario, to be ripped apart by two reptilian creatures, like kissing and ripping you to shreds while you're still consciously aware of it. That is a nightmare of mine I've had since I was a child, since I saw that fucking movie, and it was like a real thing. I was like, oh my god, that could really happen to me. Wrong, but right. Like, it's never zero. You know what I mean? The chances of you dying by a fucking dinosaur, they're low, but they're never zero. Could happen. It could happen. Oh. So anyways, I've seen my chickens do that on a small scale, and when I saw that, I was just like, oh no. Like, that is so horrible. That's a piece of conscious awareness I don't want. That's something I don't want to fuck with. I don't fucks with that. I don't fucks with that at all, babe. I don't fucks with that. Ew. Ew. Oh my god, last night. You know what it is? I cried last night for like an hour. I cried for an hour last night. Over rag. Spoiler alert, Vikings. So I cried over Ragnar's death for like 2 whole episodes, about an hour. And then I went upstairs and I cried more. I knew he was gonna die. Like, I knew, like, bitch, he's been dead for like over 500 years. Hun, shut up, right? But then also I was just like, no, it wasn't that. It was the idea of, okay, so it was very compelling, his death and all this stuff, and vengeance and all these things, which I'm very, like, very, well acquainted with vengeance and death and like wanting to take action and action and stuff like that. But I cried for a good hour and a half, let's say hour and a half. And it was to the point where my husband was like, why are you crying? My husband's kind of funny. Like, he'll be like, what are you doing? He's like, boy, why are you crying? I'm like, and so I silently cry, like liquid everywhere. And yeah, I was so fucking devastated because it was I cried at the beginning of Vikings because I knew he was already dead. And then the idea of like, it's all like creative. They take creative licenses and the creative, the wiggle room for creativity. So it's all fake or whatever. But he really did die in that way. And he really did die and he really did exist. But I cried because I thought about, like, how will my children and my grandchildren remember me? How will y'all remember me if I die? Like, what is a life? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is a life? What is remembering? What are stories? Like, it got to the point where I was like, I thought about my mother and her life. I'm not gonna cry. So I thought about my mother and her life and what I remember of her and all of the horror and all of the anger and violence and vengeance and things said and unsaid. And seeing, I guess, Ragnar die was just this unholy reflection of what I needed to release within me. And I was so mad and disheartened and frustrated and confused, and because I don't understand. I don't understand. And if you've been here for any extent of time, you know that I crave understanding, and I crave knowledge, and I'm insatiably curious. And so not being able to understand, and then death happening, it blew a hole in me. I was so frustrated, and yet it was an initiation. It was an initiation into the underworld, into literally death, cremation, the whole thing, my mother dying. And then it was easier when my mother-in-law died, because I had already known. And so if you're around me and you die, I will help you. I will take care of you. I will help your family. I will console them, and I will show them the ways. But man, it was a fight, guys. It was a fucking fight. It was me fighting, and goddamn, I fight. But goddamn, sometimes you lose, because it's not just humans you're against, or corporate entities, or the constructs of American society, or the Texas judicial system, or crooked police, or sheriffs. It's not just all of the corruption you are against. Sometimes it is like the gods themselves. It really fucking is. And so I could throw myself against the law, but there are some things that it gets to the point where I throw myself against these things, and I fight and fight and fight, because that's what I do. It gets to the point where you realize that you're losing blood for nothing, and you're going to keep losing blood, but you're going to keep living, so it'll just take longer for you to heal. It got to the point where I realized I was just supposed to witness something, and I wasn't supposed to actively participate. But having that awareness, I was able to step back. I was able to put my sword down. I was able to put my shield down, and I was able to just bleed out and allow things to pass. But it was so frustrating. It was so hellish. So anyways, watching it last night, it was just this unholy and yet divine reflection of me thinking about my mom's life, and how she died. And it's December, and how she treated me, and how I was the one kid that would have killed for her, perhaps killed her. Maybe that too. So, hey. But she lived such a full life, and she lived such a foolish life. Such a strange woman. Anyways, so I was raised by not a human, but by a wild animal. And you realize, there's a point where you have to put down your sword and shield and stop throwing yourself against what is presented to you, and start understanding you're supposed to witness something and not actively participate. You're supposed to silently absorb and later on do something, or just witness and partake in watching the actions of others, but be inactive. And that's a very difficult lesson for me to learn, because I am stupid. And so I get my ass involved into many things that I'm not supposed to be involved in. And I'm also codependent. And I am also so hurt that when I see injustice happening, I'm there defending the underdog, or defending somebody who cannot speak appropriately. But if I'm sitting there defending all these people, how will they ever learn to do it for themselves? You know? Sometimes you're just supposed to console people. You're supposed to allow them to learn their lessons, and then be a safe haven, a shelter from the storm. Even for yourself. Anyways, so yesterday I cried and cried, and I needed to cry. The antidepressants I'm on, it's hard for me to cry. it really is hard for me to cry. So when I cry, it's like, it's a sacred thing. And I used to cry all the time, mostly because I was violently frustrated. I was very violently frustrated with life. And so I would cry with anger and hot, wild tears and beat the earth. I would literally go outside and beat the shit out of the ground. Sometimes primal scream and just question, like, what the fuck, you know? Because that's my relationship with the gods. That's my relationship with God. That's my relationship with the universe. It knows who I am. I've had men come on here and try to tell me anything. Number one, wrong. Trying to tell me things, wrong. Absolutely wrong. Anyways. But mostly men try to tell me how I should and should not act towards God. If I want to stick my middle finger up to the sky and scream profanities, I will, because that's my relationship with God, or the gods, or any God. And if I want to fight God, that's between me and God. It's not between me and you. So yeah, I've had men come onto my channel and my comments try to tell me how I should behave and who I should really be mad at. And I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't give a fuck what you say. Thank you for increasing, thank you for commenting and boosting the algorithm. But other than that, what you say to me means absolutely nothing. So fuck off. So yeah, but if a woman tells me something, I'm just like, a woman could be like, honey, you shouldn't do that, blah, blah. No, I'm kidding. I'd still be like, fuck you. But yeah. Yeah, it's so funny when grown men will try to get on my channel. And number one, they're always trying to kidnap me and take me to their countries. They're like, I have liked 2 of your videos. It is time for you to be my bride. And I'm just like, honey, I would rip you to shreds and slowly roast you over a fire and then feed you to your entire village. Do not fuck with me. Just girly things like, I don't know, attracting a sacrifice for the sacrificial rites. So anyways, yeah, this is very frustrating. Yeah, that part's always frustrating whenever foreign men are like, hello, yes, I have liked 2 of your videos. It's just time for you to be my bride. I'm like, who are you, baby? Like, go away before I incinerate you, please, with my words. Just kidding. No, but yeah, it's very frustrating. It's gross. It aggravates me. But yeah. So yesterday I cried for a while. And like I said, when I cry, I also get mad. I don't know why. My tears and my anger are so wrapped up in each other. It's almost inseparable. They're like 2 serpents just wound together. And it's very, very frustrating. He wanted the picky uppies. And so I pick him up. I'm a very simple person. This is Crispy. It's like, what's going on? But yeah, he wants me to cuddle him and pick him up anywhere I go. Do you want to get down? Go ahead. Go ahead. Good boy. So yeah, anyways. Featuring Crispy's butt. Where are you going? What are you doing? I think the door was shut, so he was just like, do you hate me? Which is so fair, because I'm the same way. I'm like, a door is shut anywhere. I'm like, oh, so you hate me? Okay, that's cool. Anyways. Yeah, so I don't know if I'll do makeup today. I don't know how I feel. My hands are fucking ate up. And my leg is ate up too, because I accidentally stabbed my leg a couple of times. I'm just learning. I'm learning how to whittle. I'm also learning how to use an axe correctly, and I do not have proper form. And so I am learning the consequences of my actions by my body being like, bitch, owie. Yesterday my arm cramped up because I used an axe for like 8 hours. I was whittling a spoon, and I just was like locked in, and I was just like, you know, the ADHD lock-in of trying to accomplish something. And yeah, but yesterday we made tiny miniature gingerbread houses. Oh god, there's still one in the freezer. Oops. And then I got this yesterday. I got a half a gallon of oat milk, and I was like very stressed yesterday, so I just chugged like half of it in the car waiting for the curbside. Like I had to go in and buy coffee, instant coffee for my husband to etch some of his Damascus he's working on. It's acid etching or something of that nature. They use coffee. It's a whole process for the forge. So I had to go in, and then, but I had already also ordered at a curbside. So I was just like, okay. And so yeah, I had ordered a curbside, and I was just like, well, I gotta go get it, so I could also just pick up the extra thing when I go get it, right? Uh, so then I sat in my car for 30 minutes waiting for the curbside because it's extraordinarily busy for curbside. And I chugged half a gallon. What is that amount? I don't know. Half a gallon of oat milk. Extra creamy oat milk. It was good, but it wasn't as good as soy milk. Soy milk's really delicious. Whenever I'm stressed, I used to do that. I used to get half a gallon of soy milk and like chug half of it on the way home, and it was mine, so I could just chug it straight from the half a gallon. And that was something I would do. I would like sit in the parking lot at HEB at like 4 o'clock in the morning and eat sardines and chug soy milk and listen to classical music. And it got to the point where I stopped and I was like, am I a cat? I was like, is this cat-like behavior? To chug milk and eat sardines and listen to classical music in a parking lot as a decompression ritual? What? He's a boy. He's a boy. This is a lovely cat. Have you ever seen those guys? They're like, this is what he does. He gets up on me, I pick him up, I do this, and we walk around, and he makes that face. So yeah. So yeah, I was like, bitch, this is cat-like behavior. And then I told my coworker, and he was like, bitch, you're crazy. That's weird. You're a fucking psycho. I was like, oh no. Oh no, I'm crazy. But yeah. I was like, I didn't know I was doing it until I was doing it. You know what I mean? Have you ever had those moments where you're like, you clock back in and you start analyzing your own behavior and you're like, girl, call the doctor. That's weird. This is your decompression time? What? You want some? No, you want some love. So yeah. Are you an angel? Yes, you are. Let's see, is there anything else I want to talk about? I was crying, I was sad. There's a gingerbread house in my freezer. What else? I don't know if I'll do makeup today. Don't put your tail in my tea. I'm excited for Venus to be into Aquarius. That's exciting. That's always exciting. The weather was pissing me off. It got up to like 77, and I was like, do you hate me? You want to sit in my lap? Oh my god, he wants to sit in my lap. Yeah, I was like, do you want to fucking fight weather? Anyways, yeah, I'm confused. I need a couple days to come back to myself, like to get over the whole Venus and Capricorn thing, and to also rest my hands from learning whittling and using an axe. Like, obviously I'm not a very axe wielding broad, but I became one. I think that's the difference between me and other people, is that I have the willingness to just drop everything and learn something brand new, completely not my business. And then I do, and I spend like, well, that's not the difference between me and others. There's plenty of other people like that out there. But the difference between me and the people that surround me, let's put it that way. There's not a lot of willingness to do anything around here. There's a lot of willingness to fuck up your life. It's just boring. Why people are so fucking annoying. Anyways. Oh, you're about to fall. Yeah. I need to go take ibuprofen and put hay in my barn for my chickens and my rooster and my eventual pig. I need to do research on pigs. We could legally have a pig as long as it's not one of those extra large ones. And then also, hey honey, you're eating my button, you evil that I love. So we're allowed to have a pig as long as it's under a certain height, and like from the ground to the top of its back has to be a certain height. So I was already looking at the laws in my area. It's legal for us to have a pig, but it's not legal for us to have a rooster. So that's why I'm like looking to barter my roosters away, because I'm not connected to them at all. They're skittish of me, and they're so tiny. You don't want to eat them. They're so tiny. So there's nothing to eat on them. So why even do that? And so I guess we could, but that's just it's not useful. So they're more useful to me to barter them or to sell them. And then put the money towards gathering a pig. Don't tell my husband. It's a surprise. But yeah. And I would love to have rabbits, but we all know that I have bad luck with rabbits. I've always had bad luck with rabbits. Unless it's a jackrabbit. Then, buddy, what are you doing? He just lumped his butt. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I have to go fix the barn. I have to put a mask on so I don't get farmer's lung. And then, I have to get dressed. I don't want to get dressed. I want to just go back to bed. My husband keeps waking me up very, very early because he's excited to be alive, and that is good. But I'm like so tired. I'm so tired. I'm like, let me sleep. And he was like trying to call me because he was already downstairs. And he was trying to call me. Because he had made me hot water for my tea, which was so sweet. And then instead I put my phone on silent last night, so I slept through that. So he was like, babe, up the stairs. And I heard him in my dreams. But yesterday he went and woke me up, and when he got close to me, instead of hearing him, I heard Celtic fiddles playing, like weird fiddles playing. And it was a strange thing, because I was like, was there fiddles being played downstairs on the music? And he was like, no, I've been watching stuff on Forging. And so I had like a phantom heard fiddles playing, and I was just like, fairies. Fairy godparents. So yeah, I've been listening to a lot of the Modern Fairy Sighting podcast, and I like them. I liked Scary Fairy Godmother on YouTube, but I don't like the stories as much anymore. I like actual stories because I don't know. Because they do. Yeah, and so yeah, I don't know if that's something you know about me. So, avid believer in fairies. And then yeah, I think it's fascinating. Okay, I'm gonna go. On that note, I'm gonna go. Okay. Hope you have a great day. I gotta go let my cat out. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.